A huge ball night, and it starts with number 1 and number 2, Kentucky and Michigan State. Young teenagers versus old teenagers and 20-somethings. Let's go.
It's the first word.
Comparing 1s and 2s from a preseason ranking. Kind of ridiculous because it's a preseason ranking, but 2 things to consider nonetheless. 1, we haven't seen 1 versus 2 at any time in any season in 5 years. And B, all time, 1 versus 2, 38 matchups. 1 has won 19, 2 has won 19. So, Cal's youngsters versus Izzo's old men, Flashy. How important is tonight's game?
You know, Tony, I'm not usually big on the buzz of regular season college basketball, but this may be the biggest regular season game in national attention until March Madness. This is huge because it's a clash of cultures. It's old school. Michigan State returning 84% of the points they scored last year. All 5 guys played for the Spartans last year against Kentucky, with 4 freshmen returning 31% of the scoring from last year. And again, it's amazing me that Kentucky's ranked number 1 with 4 guys who hadn't played a college game yet. So everybody's dying to see how they play. And it's been a battle. Again, you hear this discussed throughout the year. Our team's better with one-and-done players or with guys who've been together for 3 and 4 years. We'll see that tonight. Great clash.
Callister, how important is tonight?
I got a question how it can be that big, Bill Plaschke, when Kansas-Duke is the premier game because it comes on later than Michigan State-Kentucky.
TV time.
So, I mean, I think it's a fun game to watch. I think it's instructive for the Kentucky players, getting a feel for what real college basketball is like. Even though Tom Izzo's teams get better as the year goes on, Kentucky's a team that's really going to get better. These guys, you know, 4 freshman starters and 5 key freshmen in their rotation. They're the ones who are going to be far different in March than they are in November.
Israel, you want to weigh in here?
Yeah, I got to agree with Tim here, Bill. It's not even the biggest game of the night in a lot of people's view.
So I got 2 making that argument.
You like Florida, Wisconsin.
Okay.
That's what you like.
No, I like Jabari Parker, Andrew Wiggins. So, look, but I do think it's a big game to sort of, it's not the very beginning of the college basketball season, but it's kicking off a great, highly anticipated season with the 1 versus 2, and that rarely ever happens, obviously. And when you look at Kentucky, they've had a couple of these now where these freshman class come in, and the Anthony Davis one felt special right off the bat. Last year's, obviously not. This year's has more of that feeling with Julius Randle. I think people are really intrigued to see what they can do. On the other side, Michigan State, it's not like they have a bunch of seniors. I mean, their best player is a sophomore in Gary Harris, and they're still very intriguing. And how often at number 2, can Tom Izzo play the underdog card? And he's going to play it tonight, and he's going to do it well. I think he's going to win.
Black as stone.
Well, if this was their football teams playing, it would be a huge game because it would have BCS implications. But there's nobody on this panel who thinks that anybody who loses this game tonight is not going to be in the national championship picture come March. I mean, come on. This is an entertainment value game, and I definitely want to watch it. I don't want to miss a minute of it. But after the game is over, I'm not going to go around saying, oh, man, Michigan State's in a world of trouble this year. Oh, man, look at these other guys. They're going to have to, they got their work cut out for them. It's not important at all. It's for entertainment
Flash, you want to address that?
Well, guys, we're going to spend the season debating at different times the value of continuity versus freshmen. We know we are. So that debate starts tonight. That's why it's a big game.
What's fascinating to me about this is Kentucky's number 1, despite the fact they were a first-round NIT loser to Robert Morris. It's like a college football team that goes 6-5 and loses the Alamo Bowl, and they're number 1 next year based on what they're doing.
Yes.
KB, the entertainment value is what's important for college basketball. It's just like the stars are important for NBA. Well, that's what makes this important because it's as big a time as there is until March.
Tonight is important because we all want to see what these freshmen can do. We've talked about them all off season, and tonight they're on center stage.
Last word.
Tim, if you're 6-5, you're not getting in the Alamo Bowl. Come on, man.
All right. So we heard Israel's pick. He's got Michigan State. Kevin, you in this game?
I got Michigan State too. Experience.
Callister?
Kentucky. Kentucky wins.
Flashy.
I'll never take Kentucky ever on this show. I'm a Louisville guy. Michigan State.
Okay, don't I ask.
It's fair.
We'll get to that second game on schedule, TV time. It's the more important game, the premier game. Parker and Wiggins a little bit late in the show. Football now. And the aftermath of losing the game for the first time.